Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Islamic Circle. I hope you enjoyed the first part of Dr. Ahmad Dubayan talk. Now is the second part of his talk about the scholars. Assalamu alaikum.
The Prophet saying something about. And we all know the story of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu when he came to Syria, or let's say south of Syria, in his way to Jerusalem, when he heard from some people there that there is an epidemic disease in one of the small villages there in that time. Then Umar ibn Khattab, with the people who came from Medina, he hesitated whether I go to this village where the epidemic disease or not. Then he asked the companions, none of them heard the Prophet said anything. Some of them said, well, you have to go, you have to rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to have the trust, then you have to go. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides to happen is to happen. Then others said, no, it is your choice. You should not go because you think some of them will be infected, they will have the infection, then they will die, and you have the option or the choice now in your hand to avoid this, so don't go to the village. There's another advice. Then he said, has any of you actually, or have any of you heard the Prophet said anything about in such cases? You see how they follow the Prophet ﷺ. That happens after the Prophet, about 8 years after the Prophet ﷺ, after his death. And then Abdurrahman bin Auf was absent in that moment. Then he came after the meeting and he said, I have knowledge about this. I heard the Prophet saying something. Then Umar ibn Khattab called him. He said, what did you hear? Then he said, I heard the Prophet ﷺ said, when this epidemic disease happens somewhere and you are out of the area where the epidemic disease, don't go in. If it happens when you are in the city, don't go out. This is actually to protect people. So if you are inside and it happens, if you go out, you will take the infection with you to other people, other city or other village. But if you are outside, don't go there to avoid it. So Umar ibn Khattab said, Alhamdulillah, then he changed the way of the caravan itself going to Jerusalem in his way. So you see the knowledge of the Prophet. After the Prophet ﷺ, the followers, the second generation after the companions, they used to ask and learn and memorize the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, one by one. After the first century, of course, as usual in history, Muslims had a lot of disputes and a lot of discussions. Unfortunately, most of them were political, but some of them started as political, then become religious after 2 centuries. Then everybody, to support his point of view about this dispute, about these things, okay, especially those who have political interest, they used to create some faked hadith and they said the Prophet said this and said this. Now the question is, how do we distinguish between the faked hadith and the sunnah, the real sunnah and the faked hadith? This mission actually, which is very, very important, alhamdulillah, was done for us by the muhaddithin, by the great muhaddithin like Imam Bukhari, Imam Muslim, Imam Tirmidhi, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, Imam Shafi'i, Imam al-Nasa'i, Imam ibn Majah, Imam Malik ibn Anas, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam al-Tabari, many scholars, great scholars actually, who did the best, and they spent all their life really distinguishing and criticizing and checking all these texts related to the Prophet ﷺ, whether they are really taken from the Prophet honestly or they are faked or created after. To do this mission in the right way, they must in that time, of course, check every narrator. Who is he? Is he a reliable person? Is he a liar? Is he a man? Sometimes he is honest, he doesn't lie, but he is old, he starts to forget. Then they take him out, of course. Sometimes he is not actually a liar, he is an honest person and he is not old, he is young, but he is not that much authentic. His memory is not strong enough to carry the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. So they give him like 50-50. So after all this, then we have now collections of the hadith. We have judgment about thousands of hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, those which are authentic, which are not authentic, or those which are very weak. You should not rely on them when you do your rituals or your ibadah. That's very important. The Prophet ﷺ, when he died, of course, this is also very important. We have to know, since the religion is for all mankind, for everybody, and since the message of for the Prophet and the message of Islam, one of the main value of it is really equality of people. People are equal in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are no differences among people at all. Islam come for everybody. If you read the Quran revealed in Arabic, but you will never find a verse which is only specially for Arabs. All the instructions, do this, don't do this, it actually includes all Muslims. When the Quran talked to the community, to the followers of the Prophet ﷺ, he used the word Muslimun, never used the word Arab. Never. Other nations, other people from other, of course we know, from the Far East till France, or now till America and South America. You have many followers of Islam, many Muslims everywhere, in all continents, in all countries, in all languages, in all races. There is, in Islam itself, there are no differences among all these people. They are in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are equal, male and female. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we said many times, doesn't see how you look like. He sees that, of course, but it doesn't matter how you look like. It doesn't matter who you are, who is your father, who is your mother, who is your family, which class they are. Or it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how much people you have, many children, many daughters or not. Allah sees your heart and sees your actions, how good you are yourself. And that's why in the Day of Judgment, everybody is going to be judged and to be discussed alone. Even your father or your daughter or your son or your mother in that moment will say to you, I can do nothing to you. I am busy with myself. I'm sorry. If you want even from them one rak'ah of salah or one tasbih, they will never give you, because everybody is busy with himself in that moment. Everybody is looking to be safe. So the only way to save you is actually your belief and your heart and your actions, your deeds. That's it. When the Prophet ﷺ delivered this message to all of us, he never actually hid anything. Nothing was hidden in the message. If any of you tells you that is, well, there is a part of Islam, it's only hidden for certain people, this is not true. Because the moment you believe in this, then the message is not for all people, it's for certain people. That's very important. You will find some people who say that. If they say to you, well, there is a part of the Quran was kept aside just for certain family or the family of the Prophet or for certain scholars or certain people, this is not correct also. Because logically, rationally, if this message is for all of us, then why then you keep some part of it hidden from me? I am one of the Muslims, I need to read it, I need to know about it. It's nothing. The Prophet ﷺ delivered the message as he received it for all of us. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to see what we are going to do with it. Are we going to carry it? Are we going to teach it? Or we are going to play with it? That's the question. Even the caliphate after the Prophet ﷺ, it was actually like a council of the prophets, of the companions, When they met after the Prophet, they chose Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. We accept what they have chosen, what they did. If they choose Umar, it's okay for us. If they choose Uthman, it's no problem. If they choose Ali ibn Abi Talib, it's not a problem. If they choose somebody else, it's not a problem. In that moment, if they choose Bilal ibn Rabah, it's not a problem. Because this is the message of Islam itself. So Islam is more for the society. It's not individual religion, which is actually try to keep you individually isolated from other people. No. Islam itself, like those who work, like those who are very useful in the society, like those who really have engagement with the people around them, and they do the best for everybody. During the days of the Prophet ﷺ, is the microphone working?
Yeah.
Do you hear me very well? I don't know. I have the idea the microphone doesn't work very well. Anyway,
It's quite loud actually.
Okay, during the days of the Prophet ﷺ, there were two brothers. One of them actually used to spend all his time praying, sitting in the mosque, doing nothing, praying, doing tasbih, reading Quran, this. He doesn't go, very rarely he goes, he used to go out from the mosque because he kept all his time busy actually to worship. Then his brother, he has a brother. This brother is the one who used to go to work there and here, buy some things and sell in the market to earn some money to live. And then he spent some money for his brother, the other one, who is in most of the time is worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then the Prophet ﷺ asked about this man who spent most of the time worshipping. Then they told him, they said, this man who actually dedicated his time for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he worshipped. Then he said, the Prophet asked, he said, then how does he live? Then they said, well, he has a brother and this brother is actually spending some money for him. Then the Prophet said, أَخُوهُ أَعْبَدُ مِنْ أَعْبَدُ لِلَّهِ مِنْ. Then the other one is worshipping Allah more than this one. Because the other one is more engaged, working for the benefit of himself, his family, other people around him. He is generous to help those who need, including his brother. So the Quran or the deen of Allah, the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't want you to be like this. Isolated, you just rely on people. They feed you, they give you, and you are sitting doing nothing. You say, well, I'm reading Quran all the time, I'm busy. So you prepare for me lunch, dinner, whatever. And then no, those who prepare this, maybe they are closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more than you. Yes. See, you have to understand the philosophy of the religion. How Islam sees this. It's not only the worship, it's the worship and something else. More actually than other things. So for us, this is Islam. This is the real message of it. Now, when we believe in this, then what is the role of the scholars? After the Prophet ﷺ, especially after the companions and the followers, of course, as in any other society, then many people engage themselves with knowledge, studying the Quran, memorizing the hadiths. They became scholars. We all know the four Imams, Abu Hanifa, Malik, Ahmad, Shafi'i. May Allah be satisfied with them. These four and other Imams. By the way, the Sunnah, we don't have only four Imams. We have many Imams. Many. But these four are well known and they have more followers. But other Imams, Sufyan ibn Uyayna is Imam, Dawud al-Asfahani is an Imam, Muhammad bin Jarir al-Tabari is Imam, Ishaq ibn Rahawai is Imam, Waqi' ibn al-Jarrah Imam, Al-Layth ibn Sa'd Imam, Abu Umar al-Luza'i Imam. I can give you many names. They are all Imams exactly